Hi everybody, welcome back to Rambling Rose Farmhouse. I'm really glad to have you joining me today. Today I'm going to be talking about some changes that we've made here at our farmhouse and the reason we've made the changes, and just kind of give you an update of what's been going on around here. I've had a few people who've reached out to me on Instagram and just asked me if I was okay, and I just really want to say thank you to the people who have reached out and asked if I was okay. It really means a lot to me. You don't even know how much it means to me, so I just really thank you for that. But I did want to answer that question about where I've been since I've not been here very regularly for quite some time now, several months, and let you know like I said, what changes we're making around here, because these things will affect my channel in the future. And so I just wanted to let you know what's going on. So I'm going to try to give you the short version today of what's been going on and what changes we've been making and why I've not been here making videos. I'm hoping that I'm at the point now to where I can get started again and regularly be making videos for y'all. Things have been happening, life's been happening. I just haven't been doing a whole lot of recording it, but hopefully, like I said, I'm going to be back to doing that again. So if you've watched any of my videos, I'm sure that you have heard me mention my mama before. She's 90 years old. I know last Christmas, I believe it was, I made a video with my mama's favorite cake. That was a recipe of hers, and I know I talk about her from time to time. I know I talked about her in my Christmas tour video because she gave me her Christmas ornaments that she got when she lived in Germany, when my daddy was in the military there. So you've heard me talk about her before, and you'll hear me talk about her again in my video. And a lot of what I'm going to say today is about her. She lives in a town that's about 6 miles from where I live, so it's not right around the corner, but it's pretty close, and it made it pretty easy for me to be able to kind of take care of her, keep a watch on her, and all that sort of thing. But she lived by herself. She drove herself around in town. She did her own cooking, cleaning, shopping, and all that kind of stuff. Some of that changed in the last, since 2020, when all of that stuff was going on. I started doing a lot more shopping for her so that she didn't have to go out and get exposed to stuff and all of that. But way back then, I had already decided, if my mama gets sick, I'm going to go stay at her house with her and take care of her. Like, she's not going to be able to be there alone and get through that sort of thing and all that. So that was already decided. I knew that was something that was going to happen. Well, in May, she called me, or she texted me actually, and said that she didn't feel well. She was running fever, stuff like that. So I kind of threw some things in a bag, knowing that if she was sick, I would be gone for probably a week or, close to that, and left going to her house. And she was sick. She wasn't feeling well, and she ended up falling and breaking her hip that day. When I was there with her, she fell. So that's what started the whole reason I haven't been here. She needed somebody with her constantly because she couldn't do anything. So I was with her at the hospital. She was at the hospital for 5 days. I was with her 24 hours a day for that whole entire time, with my little overnight bag that I had thrown my couple of things in when I left my house that day. And then I was with her at rehab, and then I moved into her home with her when she got out, because at that point she still had to have somebody with her 24 hours a day. She was able to walk with a walker, but not very well, and so she just needs somebody. So that was probably sometime in June when we moved to her house. It was a really hard time for me because, my family was all here, and I was there. It was the time the garden was coming in. There were so many things that need to be done. If you know that, if you like raise your own food and stuff like that, the summertime is the busiest and the hardest time that you have. And so it was really a struggle. But the problem was, we couldn't come to my house because my house is up off the ground. So, she couldn't get in my house. She couldn't get up the stairs. And the other part of that is we only have one downstairs bathroom, and it's about this big. Like, it's a tiny little bathroom. And I knew there was no way she could get in there with her walker. So that presented a really, huge problem. So the only thing that we knew to do was for me to stay there with her. Well, I'm really the type of person that I think I'm really pretty flexible, and I think I'm pretty good at figuring out solutions to problems too. And so, of course, the solution to getting her in the house was really easy. That was just to get a ramp, but that takes time. But the bathroom was the holdup, because we can't just throw together a handicap bathroom overnight to get a place where she can, use the bathroom, take a bath, all that sort of thing at our house. But one day I was thinking about it, and I just kind of in my mind, I thought that I figured out a solution to the whole bathroom thing. So I ran it by my husband, and he was like, well, I don't know, that might work. I guess we can try it. And so we did, and it did work. So now we are here at my house. But the bathroom thing is one of the things, some of the changes we made. Getting a ramp is some of the changes we made. And so I'm going to kind of show you all those things, because you never know when you might have a parent or somebody else handicapped, and you're trying to deal with a house that's not a handicapped ready house. And so some of the ideas and the things that we did may be something that will help you in the future if you do run into that sort of a situation that you need to kind of convert what you have into a handicap. And if my tiny bathroom, I'm gonna have to measure it and see how big that thing actually is. If it can be made to where a person using a walker who's 90 years old can use it, just about anything can be made into a handicap accessible place. It may not be the size that meets the standard measurements, but it'll work. So I'm gonna show y'all those things today, and hope that it'll help somebody out there who maybe will have this situation. So the first thing we had to do was get a ramp. We started our house is pretty high off the ground, so the ramp had to be pretty long. We started pricing materials. It was going to cost a fortune, because even back then building supplies were more expensive than they are now. They have gone down a little bit, but it was also going to take time, because it just takes time to build things, and it's still the busy time of the year, still the garden, still all the stuff. My husband started looking on, I don't know if he found it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, but he found it someplace, and he found a used one. He went and looked at it and talked to the man, and the man had had it built for his wife, I believe, and then she didn't use it very long. I don't know if she had to go into a nursing home or what, but it was barely used, and it was built all out of good lumber, really nice. And so we were able to buy that ramp. It was probably half of what it would have been if we had to buy it new, plus all of the man hours saved on having to build it. My sons and my husband went and got it. They did have to cut it apart to move it here on a big trailer, and I didn't film any of that stuff. I wasn't here when all that was going on, but they did get it moved and hooked up, in front of the house, and so that was a really good thing, and that solved the problem of her being able to get into the house. I really didn't, I didn't know how I was going to like the ramp, but I really love the way it looks. Actually, it's kind of crazy, but when you're sitting on the porch and you look at it, to me it has a bridge sort of look, and it has with the bushes, it just gives me this feeling of a covered bridge, and so it just kind of gives me a peaceful feeling when I look at it. So I really don't mind it being there at all. I really kind of enjoy it, actually, and I'll probably miss it when it's not there anymore, but that's what I do. I really kind of enjoy having the ramp. When we bought our house over 30 years ago, there was a ramp coming up to the front door because the man who had lived here was handicapped, and so they had a ramp here then. It was just the base. It didn't have the rails down the sides and everything. But I think it's just kind of interesting that, for us, the house started with a ramp, hasn't had one for all this time, and now it has another one. So the second big issue that we had was the bathroom. And that day that I was just sitting there thinking about it and thinking, how can I do this? The door was the real problem. For one thing, it's a really narrow door, and it opened up against the toilet. So the toilet was behind the door when you opened it up. There's no way she could get into that bathroom with her walker and close the door so that she could get to the toilet. So I thought, okay, the door's the problem. We just need to get rid of the door. I think if we get rid of the door, she can fit in there. And, like I said, I told my husband. He said, yeah, maybe it'll work. And so we did some measuring. We had to move the wheels on her walker. They were on the outside of the walker, and we had to move them to the inside. Now, I did not even realize, in fact, the physical therapist is the person who told me you can move them like that. I didn't realize they were made where they can move that way, but they are. And it's in case your spaces are narrow and you need to be able to get into a narrower space. You can gain, I think it was maybe like 4 inches or something by moving the wheels to the inside. So there's a tip for you if you're dealing with somebody with a walker. So we took the door off, moved the wheels to the walker, and what I did is I made a quick curtain out of a sheet and we hung that up, and she was able to get into the bathroom. It solved the problem that for almost a whole entire month I thought there's no way this can work because of that bathroom, and it was solved in an hour or less. So that was a really good thing. And it's doesn't bother me at all. I'm the person in our house that uses this bathroom. All the boys in the house use the upstairs bathroom, but there's of course no way she could get up there. But also any guests that come to our house use the downstairs bathroom, and some of them feel pretty uncomfortable with the fact that there's no door there. But once you get used to it, it's not bad. I mean, there's a curtain, and if you close the curtain, you have privacy, and so it works. We are, kind of looking at other alternatives, but for now, this is working, and it enables me to be able to live at home with my family where I need to be so that I can take care of them and take care of my mama. And so that solved that problem. So the next problem was, we have no empty rooms downstairs. All of the rooms have something in them: bedrooms, dining room, kitchen, whatever. So I just told my husband, let's get rid of the dining room table. Like, we can live without it. I mean, we use it, but we do have, we have seating in our kitchen area. We have the keeping area where we can sit and eat. We don't absolutely have to have that dining room table. And if we move our table out, I think her bed will fit right where the table was. And then we won't have to move all of the other furniture that's in there out. We won't have to find a place to put it, because this is just a temporary fix. And so that's what we did. We got rid of the dining room table. We didn't get rid of it. We just actually stored it, and then we have room for her bed to fit right there where the table was. So that's very convenient. It's worked out really well. I did have to move other pieces of furniture that were kind of in the walkway, and it made it too narrow for that walker to fit down there. So some of my other pieces of furniture had to move. I just found different places to put them. But so now we've solved it. She has a bedroom at our house. She can get in because she has the ramp, and the bathroom situation has been fixed. The last problem is that she did not have a way to take a bath, because we don't have a downstairs shower, and she couldn't get into the bathtub. That wasn't any better at her house when we were at her house, because she had a shower there, but she couldn't get into it. It wasn't a handicap shower, and she had a tub there, but she couldn't get in it. So that wasn't that big of an issue because it wasn't any better at her house than it was here. So her occupational therapist told us about a motorized chair that you can get. It's battery operated, and it's a lift chair. So you sit on it and it lowers you down into the tub and it brings you back up. And so we just looked. I looked with her occupational therapist, and we had to look for one that was made that would fit in a clawfoot tub because that's what we have. So it had to go up pretty high because my tub is deeper than most tubs are. It's a little wider, and then it's pretty, it's up off the ground further because it's on the feet. But we did find one that fit. We were able to order that, and so now she can take a bath, and that is pretty amazing for anybody, not just an older person, but if you have any kind of injury or anything that you can't get in and out of a tub, but you really want to be able to bathe, I would definitely recommend looking into these. And I'm going to link the one that we got below. So far, we haven't had any problems with it. It's worked really, really good. I read a ton of reviews before I picked one to buy because I just really didn't know, like, how is this going to work? Is it going to work? I was really a little bit hesitant about it. But it did help that the occupational therapist told us that she had other clients or patients, whatever, that had them and used them, and so gave me a little more confidence. But the one we decided on and got, like I said, so far it's worked really well. It holds a charge for a really long time. Like, you don't have to keep charging it real often, and it does. It just goes up and down. So that solved that problem. So I think that we pretty easily solved all of the obstacles that were keeping me from being able to come home and live at my house and still be able to take care of my mama. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm really glad that when it comes to my home, I do care about how it looks. I want it to look nice. I want other people to think it looks nice, but I want it to function for my family. That's what I really want it to do. And my mama is part of my family. And so, I'm glad that it doesn't bother me to not have a dining room table. I'm glad that it doesn't bother me to not have a door on the bathroom. And I'm glad it doesn't bother me to have a ramp on the front door. Because this is our home, and I love this house, but I love that it can house multi-generations of family all at the same time. It's been here for over 100 years, and in that time, it's housed multi-generations of families before. And I don't know, it just feels right. It feels good, and that makes me really happy. So I'm just so glad that we figured out the space for her, and that she can be here with us, and that we can take care of her. I'm glad that I can take care of her and my family at the same time. Now that we're here, it makes it so much easier than it did when I was not here. And so the other part of what we're doing is the room I'm sitting in. If you can tell, I'm not sure how much you can see behind me, is totally unfinished. It's a room in our house that we never finished in the last 30 years. We've never finished this room. And so we are redoing this room. We're finishing it. We're going to put in a handicap bathroom for her, and then this will be a bedroom for her. So she will have a space that will work better for her and easier. Eventually, we're working on it. We're, like I said, having to get through this busy time of the year, and then hopefully things are fixing to slow down a little bit. We're actually cutting and baling hay right now today as I'm making this video, and that's probably the last big thing that we have to do as far as farm things before the winter, fall area time comes. So hopefully we'll be able to get in here and knock this out. So we'll be showing you the progress on the room as we work on it. and see how that all turns out. But that's exciting too, because I've wanted to finish this room for 30 years and it never got done. And there's a reason for that. And I'm going to be making a video. It might be the next one I do. It's going to be coming up soon, and I will explain more about why the room never got finished before. So look for that. It'll be in the next couple of videos. But we are finishing it now, and I'm really excited that it's going to be able to be a bedroom and a bathroom for my mama. So I'm good. You know, nothing happened to me when I disappeared, but my life did change drastically, and it did affect my ability to do things. And by the way, I didn't say this, but Mama's doing really, really well. She's progressing really well with her physical therapy. Every day she gets better. She's getting to where she can do more things for herself, and so she doesn't need me like to be right by her side 24 hours a day like she did for a while. And so she's just doing really good, and that makes me really happy. And it's just a really good feeling when I get in the bed at night to know that she's okay, not to be worried about her, you know, to know that she has the things she needs, and that I'm able to give those things to her. So I'm just really feel blessed in that way. It's just, I'm really happy. It's a good place to be. So I thank y'all. If you made it all this way through this video, I just thank you for listening to me. I feel like maybe I was rambling a little bit, but I just did want to share what's been going on and why I haven't been making videos. And I really hope I'm going to be able to jump back into it and start getting some videos made. So thank you for sticking with me through all of this. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, I would appreciate it if you go and subscribe. And I hope to see you back again next week. I hope I'll be back next week with a video, and I hope I'll see you back here too. So thank you for being here, and I hope you have a good day.